The latest Pompey news, updates every day from the Pompey Sound news desk.
Football news agency Sports Mole have been previewing the Middlesbrough versus Pompey game, and this is their summary.
Middlesbrough's automatic promotion hopes have been dented by a 5-game winless run that started with a 1-0 defeat to Charlton Athletic. Borough then played out back-to-back draws against Bristol City and Blackburn Rovers, before they gave up a slender lead in a narrow 2-1 defeat to promotion rivals Millwall. Kim Hellberg's side dropped more points in Monday's trip clash against Swansea City, which produced 3 penalties, 1 for Borough and 2 for the Swans, in a 2-2 draw at the Swansea.com stadium. With 5 games to play, Borough is sitting in 3rd place, level on 72 points with Millwall and Ipswich Town, who occupy 2nd and 4th spot respectively. Middlesbrough may already have one eye on next weekend's fixture against Ipswich, who have 2 games in hand over Borough. But first, they will attempt to claim their first win over Portsmouth, since running out 3-1 winners at Fratton Park in March 2012. Borough will also be hoping to rediscover their goal-scoring touch on home turf, after failing to score more than one in any of their previous 6 outings at the Riverside Stadium. Portsmouth, meanwhile, are in a fierce battle to preserve their championship status after winning 10, drawing 12, and losing 18 of their 40 league matches this term. In fact, John Massinio's Chargers have gone 8 games without a win since they recorded their most recent victory over Millwall on February 21st. Pompey have at least managed to avoid defeat in their last 2 outings, playing out a 1-1 scoreline away to Norwich City, before rescuing a 2-2 draw from Monday's home clash against relegation rivals Oxford United. The South Coast side, who played over 70 minutes with 10 players following Conor Ogilvy's red card, looked set to fall to a narrow 2-1 defeat before Andre Dizelle netted a late leveller to salvage a precious point, leaving them in 21st spot and 1 point clear of Leicester City and Oxford. Pompey are now preparing for a tricky run of fixtures that will see them take on the Championship's top 3 in their next 4 outings, including their game in hand against Ipswich Town at Fratton Park on Tuesday. Portsmouth's current focus will be on Saturday's trip to Teesside, and while they lost just 1 of their last 9 league games against Middlesbrough, they are winless in their previous 5 visits to the Riverside since a 4-0 triumph in August 2006. We say, Middlesbrough 1, Portsmouth 1. Middlesbrough will be desperate to return to winning ways, but considering they have won just 1 of their previous 9 meetings with Pompey, we think they will be held to a draw on Saturday, especially as the South Coast side have shown signs of improvement in their last 2 outings.
Sports Mole on Saturday's match against Middlesbrough. That seems like a pretty balanced and fair and sufficiently extensive 360-degree overview of the game. What I found really refreshing is that they didn't go down the obvious route with their prediction, which would have been a 2-1 win to Middlesbrough or a 3-1 win, something like that. They've gone for what's slightly brave prediction of us nicking a draw. Take that, wouldn't we?
Pompey fans, eagerly awaiting the unveiling of the team sheet on Saturday, are facing a confusing dilemma in their own minds as to which of our centre-halves will start the game, partnering Regan Poole. The return to fitness of Conor Shaughnessy, albeit subject to game-time rationing to protect his legs, coupled with the return to fitness of Josh Knight, and the promising performance of Jojo Deere in that position makes team selection at the back anyone's guess. The availability of Thomas Waddingham provides John Masino an opportunity to bring on a second striker if needed for the latter part of the game against Middlesbrough. And the newfound availability of Knight and Waddingham is not as uplifting as would be the news Adams is fit to travel and play in the northeast. He's not, so midfield picks itself. Similarly, Keshi Anderson's performance against Oxford suggests that Masino may stick with him on the left with Millie Ali once again starting on the bench. Andre Dizelle's man-of-the-match performance makes him a shoo-in to start alongside Marlon Pack. And with Williams putting in an impressive shift when he came on for Ogilvy, and Schmid being excused any culpability for Oxford's first goal, it is, for the first time in a long time, a Pompey team that picks itself, except for the puzzle as to who will partner Regan Poole.
Yeah, that is the puzzle, isn't it? So there seem to be 3 candidates, and they've all got fors and againsts. They've all got things in the for column, and they've all got things in the against column. Shaughnessy, for, he is our number 1, surely, centre-half, alongside Poole. Against, he has this ongoing injury risk And John Messina has pledged that he's going to ration his game time. So we may need him to start in one of our future games, particularly a 6-pointer that we've got coming up, rather than Middlesbrough, which might be a lost cause. At night, for him, he's proven. We know that he is rock solid. When he's on his game, he's as reliable as it gets. Against, he might be fit, but is he match sharp? Is he somebody that we would start after a long layoff through injury? And Jojo, he is promising, isn't he? We've seen that now. We know that now. He might appear a little unreliable when the heat is really on and the ball is on the deck. But in every other department, he seems good enough to fit the bill. Against Jojo, he's very young. And he may never have played in a game that had the importance or the setting of Middlesbrough. So, glad it's not my decision. I bet you're glad it's not yours, although, like me, I bet you've got your own view. We'll find out at 2 o'clock, isn't it? Or these days, something a bit before 2 o'clock they put out the team at Pompey. A bit before the hour. It used to be dead on an hour before kick-off. We'd get the team news, or 2 or 3 minutes after the actual striking of the hour. 58 minutes before kick-off it used to come through. Now it's available sometimes with an hour and a quarter before, so you've just got to keep checking your phone. Football news agency The 72 regularly like to try their hand at predicting the outcome of Pompey games. It's a tricky business and they rarely get things right. Let's hope they're wrong this time round.
Ewan Walsh. Middlesbrough need to sort themselves out and quickly if they are to win promotion this season. Even if they don't finish in the top 2, their form is seriously concerning for the playoffs, and a win on Saturday is vital. John Messina's side showed fight last weekend but ultimately missed out on what should have been 3 points at home. Pompey have such a difficult run-in, and taking advantage of Borough's poor form could be crucial. This game could genuinely go either way, with Hellberg's side low in confidence, and Portsmouth fighting for survival. I am going to back the Teesside outfit to get back to winning ways. However, it won't be an easy victory for them. Prediction: Middlesbrough 2-1. James Ray. This is a big game at both ends of the table. Middlesbrough now winless in 5 and desperately need 3 points in this one. Really, they need to win every game left, given that Ipswich Town have 2 games in hand. Any more slip-ups and it could be the playoffs for Borough. This is one of their easiest games left too. With all respect to Portsmouth, their attack is blunt, and they're lacking strength in depth due to injuries, so I'm not too hopeful for their chances here. Pompey have to try and shut up shop so they can perhaps nick a goal on the break, or from a set piece. I wouldn't rule that out given how Borough have slipped up recently, but I definitely lean towards a much-needed win for the hosts here. Prediction: Middlesbrough 2-0.
The 72 there with some predictable predictions. Obviously, in the build-up to a game like this, both sides, in the days leading up to it and on the morning of the game, and just before they go out onto the pitch, their minds are full of the significance of the game and the way in which they're going to play their part in the game. And at half-time as well, the focus returns to the situation that we're in and the scores of the other games that are significant in the promotion and the relegation battles. And after the game, of course, the analysis and everything once again returns to the position, the situation, the status, what the table looks like after that result for both teams. But in the heat of battle, when you're actually out there on the pitch, cheered on or not by tens of thousands of people, and the rush of adrenaline that you get from playing in a professional football game at the speed that the championship is played at, there's really no time to reflect on wider issues. Long gone are the days when, if the ball was down the other end, the centre-half could put his hands on his hips and wonder what he's got for tea. Absolutely not. The concentration levels are 100%, should be 100%, from the moment the first whistle sounds until, well, half-time. Then you have an opportunity to think, take on board new information, but then the second half starts, and once again, it's the whole hurly-burly of the game. You know, you're running down the wing and you've got an opponent facing you down, and you're thinking about whether you're going to go round him, go wide, or pull it back and play square, or play it back to your fullback or whatever. You just are not thinking about league tables or responsibilities to shut up shop. Shut up shop? It's a slightly old-fashioned notion. Playing 5 at the back, I suppose, is shutting up shop. And that's something that you do from time to time without necessarily changing your game plan. So I think that no matter what the importance is of this upcoming game against Middlesbrough, when the ball is in play, then everybody is thinking about their responsibility to the game and to their teammates, and their responsibility to do the dirty, by which I mean to legitimately tackle and out jump the opponents, and not at all about league positions and things. It shouldn't make any difference. The score can. If it's 2-0 to them and there's 20 minutes to go, then there's chance. And so that might make you lob a bit further forward in the game, on the pitch. But as for, as I said, thinking about statistics and, sequences of without a win, Middlesbrough's 5, I think we're 8, aren't we? Two sides who can't win at the moment. But that doesn't enter into your thinking when you're out there on the pitch, in your shirt, playing with your mates. You're just trying to do your best second by second.